Good morning, children. This is Mrs. Franklin. Before we start our story today, I wanted to update us on our potato plant. The potato plant had squirrels visit it over the weekend. You can see in the picture, the squirrels ate a lot of the leaves. I'm going to have to put a cage over our potato plant to keep the squirrels from eating all the leaves. But I don't think they got the potatoes. We'll be checking on that later in the week. So we're going to walk over. We'll look at the other plants. There's the squash. And I had mentioned that we'd look underneath and see if we could see any of the baby squash. You can just begin to see one right there. It's just starting. They still aren't very big yet. So we'll look at that next time. And the tomato plants. And the tomato plants are starting to make tomatoes, but I don't see one yet. You can see the tomato flowers right here. And that will have a tomato growing from it soon. So let's walk on over. You can hear the birds in the garden this morning. Let's see if we have any bees at the fountain. We might. Such a pretty morning. I hope it's a pretty morning at your house. How are your plants doing? Let's see. Oh, we have a few bees. We have a few bees at the fountain getting their drink. And we have lots of our trees blooming. You can begin to see that the mesquite tree is starting to make mesquite pods. And the ironwood tree has purple flowers on it, and it's about to make seed pods too. And up in our desert, the shigoi is just finishing blooming, and the brittle bush is just finishing blooming. So we're going to have lots of wonderful desert plants to share with the little creatures that live in the desert. And they'll have lots of good things to eat. Well, I had mentioned that we were going to start a story today that was about pets. Remember, Mr. Lopez had said that a good way to spend time while we're apart is trying to train our pet. And I have a cat. I tried to train my cat. My cat did not want to be trained. So in another post, I'm going to post a picture of my cat, and maybe you can give me an idea of a trick that he might like to learn. But he's a very big cat, and he's a very fat cat, and when I tried to train him to sit up or to sit or to come when I called him, he didn't do any of those things very well. But today I'm going to read a story by a writer that I know many of you love. I know that a lot of you have enjoyed the Dogman books. And Dave Pilkey, who's one of our favorite writers, he's written a book about dragon and about Dragon's Pet. And so we're going to read the first chapter of that today. And then in our next visit, we'll read another chapter until we get to the end of our Dave Pilkey book. So I'm going to show you the book now, and let's see some things you might be thinking about and wondering about, and things you may notice. So Dave Pilkey does beautiful watercolor pictures for his books. He does both the writing and the illustrations. Illustrations are the pictures in the book. And you can see that the name of this book is Dragon's Fat Cat. I love how he put the apostrophe S here, because it showed us that the kitty belongs to Dragon. It's going to be Dragon's cat. And Dragon's cat is a fat cat. Oh my goodness, look at how fat that cat is. All right, let's look in our book. Dragon's Fat Cat. And here's a picture of all of Dave Pilkey's dragon books. And then here's our first page. Dragon's Fat Cat by Dave Pilkey. You can see that this is an Acorn book by Scholastic. They tell us that right down there. That just tells us who created the book. But the person who wrote the book is our good friend, Dave Pilkey. Chapter 1, Meow. And look at that, it's got an exclamation point right at the end of meow, right here. Let's see if I can point to it for you. Well, no, I didn't point to it very well. Let's try it like this. Do you see the exclamation point right here? So that means that we say it in an excited way. Meow! Here's our first picture. What do you notice? When I first looked at this picture, I thought maybe it was fall and those were fall leaves. But let me get a little closer. Oh my, what do you suppose those are? There's no leaves on the tree. And what's that? Well, let's see. Chapter 1, Meow. Here's our picture. What do you see in the picture? What is Dragon doing? Some of us may have a fireplace in our house too, although not as many in the desert. He's looking out the window. One snowy day in January, Dragon heard a funny noise. Meow. That sounds like a cat, said Dragon. Oh my goodness. What do you see? Oh my goodness. It's January, so maybe that's snow? I bet it is. He opened his door and looked outside. Out in the yard, sitting in the snow, was a fat, gray cat. Hello, little cat, said Dragon. Come inside and get warm. But the fat cat did not come inside. The fat cat just sat in the snow and said, meow. Oh my goodness. Later, Dragon heard another funny noise. Meow. There's that cat again, said Dragon. Won't you please come inside and get warm? Dragon asked. But the fat cat did not come inside. The fat cat just sat in the snow and said, meow. The day passed, and Dragon did not hear any more funny noises. When Dragon looked outside, he did not see the fat cat. All he could see was a blanket of snow with a fat lump in the middle. Oh no, said Dragon. Something is not right. Dragon went outside and scooped away at the snow. He scooped and scooped and scooped until he found the fat cat. Oh my goodness. Oh no, look at the cat. Oh my goodness gracious. You are coming with me, said Dragon, and he took the cold cat inside. That cat is just frozen. And our next chapter will be Chapter 2, Life with Cat. But that was our first chapter. Poor frozen kitty. I think he's going to like living with Dragon. So what did you notice about the story? Did the kitty do what Dragon asked him to do right away? No, sometimes kitties don't do what they're asked to do. Do you have a kitty at your house, or do you have a puppy? Or maybe you have a bird or some other kind of pet. Or maybe your family is still thinking about a pet. Well, I hope you enjoyed Chapter 1 of our book, Dave Pilkey's Dragon's Fat Cat. And I hope that we can be together again soon to read the book. And when I'm visit with you next, I'll show you the net that we put over the potato plant. And I'll also try and get my cat, who's right now taking a nap, to wake up and I can show you a picture of him. Children, I hope you're having a wonderful day and that you are happy and safe at your house and that you're enjoying our warm weather and staying safe. Are you remembering to wash your hands every day? Many times every day? And are you singing the happy birthday song twice when you do so that you're washing your hands for 20 seconds? I know that you probably are. All right. Well, I miss you, and I've enjoyed reading the first chapter of Dragon's Fat Cat with you, and I will see you soon.